Never too late. I remember real quickly, there was a mountain in Colorado, and I told my girlfriend that I could get up the mountain faster than she could. So make a long story short, I climbed and grabbed a tree and grabbed a rock and grabbed a boulder and grabbed and ran and got up there. And I got up there and I was really, really wet, perspiring, and she's sitting on the rock, really calm. And I said, how did you ever beat me? I really was killing myself to get up this mountain. So I took the path. Why do I mention that? That was the stupid thing to do. I want to let you know, I never read a book on the stock market. Actually, I never read a book on sales. The difference is, it took me, started really at 18. When I went to college, we used to cut out of class and go to the stock market. It took me about 61 years to get to where I got to. And I've improved along the way, asking people what I could do to get better, particularly a guy like Troy. And I just want to let you know, if you really want to get better, you have to work hard. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to be somewhat smart. And you have to ask others for their biggest mistakes. Edison failed 292 times. On the next time after 292, they asked him, what about failing? He said, never failed. I was just practicing for success. Barry took a survey of approximately 670 people that responded to my survey. And the ranking they gave me is on a market timer, I got an 8+. That's good. On a stock picker, I got a 9+. On energy, the numbers was off the chart. They couldn't even give me a number. And remember, I'm 70. I'm going to be 77. Honesty, I got a 10+. They believe me even though I was totally wrong and predictive. But that happens in your life. We all know we can make mistakes. The point is, never invest all your money in one stock. I didn't, and I recovered, and have made back almost $700,000 in the last 2 months. And I can tell you, I only lost $152,000 on predictive, which, as you know, I got paid $175,000 by third party, never sold it. And those are pretty high grades. And I want to let you know also that we've added a lot of people to my WhatsApp. And if you want to get on WhatsApp, all you have to do is go and invite me at my phone number, which you have, 561-400-8608. That being said, I text PRTS. I told you this past week that PRTS was going to have great earnings. It did. It ran up about 70 cents. It sold off, which I told you that it would sell off, and people sell the news. And I told you on Friday they would go into the Russell Index, which frankly I can't confirm yet, but I bet you they are. They're going to be in the Russell. It closed very high on Friday at 480. We've been knocking them dead with our calls, one after another. And my market timing has been spectacular. And I'm sorry to hell to brag, but the fact is, I can't brag about my golf and my tennis. First of all, I don't play. Or my athletic ability. I can brag about what I've worked my whole life to get to. I don't suggest that you climb the mountain. I think you should take the path. I don't think you should do what I do. I think you should read a book. I think you should ask others what mistakes they made. I must have done 3 million trades in my life. It took me this long to learn. I have the feeling from unbelievable life of experiences. But that's the tough way. You want to spend 61 years. What you want to do is you want to ask people. No one has ever called me and said, Barry, what are the biggest mistakes you made? Can I take half an hour on Saturday and learn from you? Now they'll call me and say, what do you think about predictive? What do you think about PRTT? They don't ever ask intelligent questions. What's going to make them much better? On Friday, we text EZPW. Happened to be my broker had an order for 500,000 shares, and it happened to be the stock went up. I don't see embarrassed today. I thought there'd be an article on it, but there is not. Anyhow, we have a tremendous amount of new people on WhatsApp. A lot of people work. I wish more people would go in the chat. I wish that you would help the site by texting, or not texting, but forwarding your email, telling people you know they're home. Now, of course, some of them will start going out. But CMG, I recommended this week. I know most of you don't buy $900 stock. But I'll deal with 3 cents and I'll deal with 2,000. You know that I do. CMG now breaks that at 941. I recommended it, I think, at 870 something. The TDG, the stock that went up almost 30 points Friday, that breaks out at 373. My favorite stocks we'll talk about in a minute. But on the Friday on the close, I bought the KWEB, which I mentioned to you. I see it in Barron's today. They're recommending TCENT, TCEHY, and they're mentioning the tech stocks of Barron's. I recommended, I like WIMHY. They're going to benefit from, now DraftKings, DKNG, has got a fantastic market cap with Disney investing in it. But WIMHY is a very big company in business for a year in sports betting online in England, and ERI owns 20% of it, which I think is they're going to announce they're going to be spinning that off, and that would pay down their debt. I like KNWN, which Loft Dog on our site gave us. The stock, I think, is a long-term hold. This little cheapie I've never mentioned, ALLM, Apple, Larry, Mary. I only own a small position. I think you might want to look into it. I don't think it's a fast mover, but I think it's going to work. They're talking about being 50 or 75 by the end of the year. We'll see. It's still like Parts, PRTS. Parts is going to be a beneficiary of online. It's the Amazon of the online. And I know that they're talking to some of like Allstate, State Farm, and Geico. The cars that are over 5 years old, when they replace the parts, they replace them with new parts. That this company will make the part, and it won't be a brand name, and they're going to get a lot of business. In fact, one of the companies that I just mentioned asked them to open a facility in Texas, and I think Parts is going to earn a lot of money. I believe it's going to go into the Russell. One was positive it did, and I think the stock is first 10 and then 20. EZPW, a pawn shop company, which was we went up from Friday, should benefit from all the people, particularly in Texas, where they have 282 locations. They have over 1,100 pawn shops. But you have to ask, if people were locked in their houses, how many people went out for their kids and bought an extra computer or bought an extra iPad? And of course, they bought guns and maybe even another television. So the fact is that I would think that they sold out. I would think that EZPW is going to work out. PSPI, Paul Sam Tom Ida. I like this company. They got $65 million, $15 million from a grant from the European Commission, and $15 million investment. They were able to cure a whole lot of people with the COVID virus. I think their earnings, I think, are coming out Monday. I would positively buy it ahead of earnings. If it goes down in earnings, I'd double up. It doesn't matter to me what those earnings are. I think the stock is going to take off. NETE, Nancy, Eddie, Tom, Eddie. Company put itself up for sale. It's in the PayPal type group. Stock is selling for $2.10. I think it's worth a lot more. It should be sold. The president takes $10 million salary, which is a ripoff. And they should sell this company. Okay, now I want to give you my best bets. Let me just see if I covered everything here. Yes, okay. My best bets for this week. By the way, I also bought the nail I was talking about on the close not even on the close, at 1870, I think. The home builders are recommended in Barron's today, Toll Brothers, KBH. There were three of them that were both, three of them were recommended, so that should move the nail up. The KWEB should move up because the Chinese stocks were recommended. Barry's market timing is very, very, very good, particularly with the help of someone like Troy. I do a lot of ETFs, as you know. I made a lot of money, and I know a lot of you who are following me have made a lot of money. But specifically on two lower price stocks, which now brings me down to what would I buy this week? Well, first of all, I buy Boyd Gaming right on the opening, BYD. I think the Barron's mentions that the people are going to more likely go to regional gambling facilities before they go to Vegas because they'd rather drive than fly. And so originally Boyd would be the beneficiary where ERI would not be beneficiary. But a lot of people drive from LA to Vegas. My favorite stock is PRTT, Paul Robert Tom Tom. You tell me you misunderstand what this company's got. You think that the winery is the big deal. No, the winery is nothing. They have a patented process that can increase yields on any fruit, vegetable, or anything by 40%. They are probably going to go and sign some contracts. My suspicion is Malaysia and Thailand. And I think that they're going to end up taking a percentage of the, let's say the farmer on his rice field gets 40% more. They may make a deal instead of charging him, take a percentage of his increase. And I think this is a fantastic business model. And I believe that the company over the next year to two could be a staggering number. I'm not going to give you a number because if I tell you 20, you'll tell me I'm crazy, or more. I will just tell you it would not surprise me by the end of the June quarter that the stock is at least $4. And right now it's 92 cents. I want you to be very careful of following his increase. Over 8,000 people have joined us on Twitter. And I don't want you to run in and just buy the opening. Either bid or be careful, because we've got much more powerful. I hate to use the word powerful, much more followed. We're free. We're the best. Nobody else that I know does $3 for him. Listen, there are sites that are excellent, but they do penny stocks. I don't know anybody that tells you to buy Chipotle and then gives you a 5-cent stock at the same time, other than me. If it's going to make you money, I'm going to give it to you. I think PRTT is going to, there's only 4 million in the float. I think it's going to be explosive. And I think the stock is going to surprise you. My guess, by the end of May, my guess is stock will be 2.5, maybe 3. That's a triple. From 1 to 3, that's a great story. I hope you own it. I talked about it all week. When I gave it 25 cents, I said, trust me, buy it. And I'm allowed to do that. That's not individual investment advice. And I think the stock is going to make a difference to your life. There's another stock I love, but we're not talking about it. If you want to know anything about it, there's a lot to tell you about it. You're welcome to call me. So for right now, I'd buy PRTT. I would definitely own some. I would own BYD for a trade. And my last idea, ORGS, Oscar Robert George Sam. This is a NASDAQ biotech. It's selling for $6.25. It's got $7 in cash. It's not losing money. I think the stock, you should bid for it. It's thin. And I think that the stock is going to be, give you 10 to 12 by the end of June. And that's my best ideas. So, Toll Brothers, Boy Gaming, PRTT, ORGS. Barry works his ass off. I got up 2 o'clock in the morning to think what I was going to say. You know how hard I work. In fact, I don't think anybody would disagree with my passion and my energy. It's unreal how. Imagine I've slowed down in my selling. I'm still not a great seller, and that's because I look at the chat. But I don't want to give excuses. But I look at the chat and I have to see what everybody's posting. And I'm going to tell you that if you're on YouTube, I invite you to go to HotStocks.NYC. And I said, just click on Discord, and you will be on our chat. And if you have a problem hearing me or posting, all you have to do is call me, and I'll help you get on. I'm at 561-400-8608. I am the best for less. I am the best. There are a couple sites that I watch. I get ideas from anybody. That's nothing wrong with that. Most important thing I'm going to leave you with, if you want to get better. By the way, Barbara Streisand took 13 years before she became successful. There's a guy on the Miami Heat named Nunn. He was not drafted. He worked for 7 or 8 years. He's 28. He finally made it, and he became a really great player on the Miami Heat. Sometimes it takes time to develop. In my case, it took a long time. I lost money for maybe 20, 25 years. Unfortunately, my parents had given me some money, but I had lost money. Now, I'm making a lot of money. And now, I want to help battered women. And that's my goal in life. So, what I'm going to tell you is my market timing is great. My energy is fantastic. My ETF pairs that I do, long one. And by the way, speaking of pairs, I've kept going long the TNA, I'm short the TNA, long the TZA, and long the TQQ. But that might not work anymore. Something works until it doesn't work. I noticed the TNA was very strong on Friday. that's an indication that the market might move up to the 3,100 area. So don't be so bearish. And speaking of being bearish, the put-call ratio, not the put-call, the intelligence advisory service was 27% bulls and 73% either bearish or neutral. That was why we just had a great rally. That's a very, very important indicator. Do not put that aside. Any case, I hope I can help you. I would like some of you to say, Barry, what's the biggest mistakes? But you better be prepared for 2 or 3 days of me giving you my mistakes. And unfortunately, some of you got hurt by my overzealous enthusiasm for predictive. Although, to summarize predictive, which I've already told you I got paid by a third party, 175,000 shares, I want to let you know I still think that as crappy as the management has been, not the doctors, but as crappy as they non-communicative crap, they've just been terrible. I still think the value of the company is worth way more than what it's selling for. And whether they get the kits in from China or they don't, I think if they were forced to liquidate the company, if they were, and I'm not saying they will, I think the stock is still worth at least 3 in a liquidation sale, or 4 or 5. And I don't think it's a sale if you can take the patience to hold it. However, there were a lot of people that did sell it when it opened at 55, and they bought PRTT at 30 and 35 and 40. Boy, are they happy campers. And speaking of that, PRTT, this product, is just spectacular. It's real. It's a famous Russian scientist who invented it. And it's better than you realize. And you're going to see the volume. And you're going to see what this is going to become. This is Barry. Again, I tell you, my ideas for Monday. The Nail, Toll Brothers, ORGS, and most important, PRTT. And again, remember, you don't be foolish and put market orders into PRTT. You get your ass kicked in. There's a lot of people following me now, and I'm asking you to have more people follow. Give this recording out. Send it out to you people on your various Gmail accounts or whatever you send it to, Twitter accounts. I ask you to help us. Help us to help you. This is Barry. As usual, I'm available on Saturday and Sunday for phone calls. If you want to learn something, I can help you. Thank you.